Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of Hebrews
with Kurt Bjorklund.
We have this picture of the tabernacle and Jesus being the high priest. He says at the beginning of the chapter, now this is the main point of what I've been saying. All of this language, he says, I'm bringing it together. Jesus sat down. He finished. It's not an ongoing work. And then he says, Jesus is the reality. He's not a shadow, not a picture. He is the mediator. And this word mediator is significant always throughout Scripture. And here the idea of a mediator is really this one who goes between, who makes a way for two things that are not coming together to come together. Verse 7, after verse 6, talks about the mediator, says, "For if there had been nothing wrong with the first covenant, no place would have been sought for another. But God found fault with the people and said, 'The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and with the people of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their ancestors when I took them by the hand and led them out of Egypt, because they did not remain faithful to my covenant, and I turned away from them, declares the Lord.'" So here he is saying there's a mediator who's better. And then he talks about the people turning away. And so he's saying in essence that something has happened here that is leaving you with this not having a sufficient connection to God. And he says, but I'm a better mediator at this point, or there is a better mediator. William Barclay, in talking about this, put this in good terms. And I need to get my William Barclay book, which I thought I had in hand. And here it is, 106 is where I have this quote. It says this: "As the writer of Hebrews saw it, only Jesus can lead us out of the frustrating actuality into an all-satisfying real. So he calls him the mediator." And then he talks about the Greek word, and he says it comes from meros, which in this case means the middle. Amistis is therefore one who stands in the middle between two people and brings them together. When Job is desperately anxious that somehow he should not be able to put his case to God, he cries out hopelessly, "There is no umpire." And in the Septuagint, it's the same word that's used here. Septuagint is the Greek translation of the Old Testament. And he says, this is what God does. In Galatians 3:19, Paul calls Moses the mistis, or the mediator, in that he was the one between, who brought the law from God to the people. In Athens, in classical times, there was a body of men, all citizens in their 60th year, who could be called upon to act as mediators when there was a dispute between the two citizens, and their first duty was to bring about reconciliation. In Rome, they were arbitri. The judge settled points of law, but the arbitri settled matters of what was fair and just, and it was their duty to bring disputes to an end. Further, in legal Greek, a mistis was a sponsor, a guarantor of surety. He put up bail for a friend who was on trial. He guaranteed a debt of an overdraft. The mistis is somebody who is willing to pay a friend's debt to make things right again. And then he says this: the mistis is a person who stands and brings together two parties in reconciliation. Jesus is our perfect mistis. He stands between us and God. He opens the way to reality and to God, and is the only person who can bring about reconciliation between us and God, between the real and the unreal. In other words, Jesus is the only person who can bring us real life. And his picture here, again, is helping us to say that this is a better promise, because Jesus doesn't count on the work of the priest or the imperfect repeated work, but he has done what has been done. And again, to try to bring this into our day and age, the mediator is the one who can bring it together, but the word has the dual meaning of not just one who stands as an arbiter to decide between parties, but actually is the one guaranteeing that it will be done. And so this is the picture that's here of Jesus. And my question today is very simply, will you lean into and celebrate what Jesus has done? Because it means it's the end of your need to try to mediate your own way with God. Jesus has done it on your behalf.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.